How do you get over a girl? Time heals everything. You never forget, and you never get 100% over it, but sometime in the future you will go 24 hours without thinking about her, and you won't even realize it. And then you will go a week, and then eventually a month as life goes on, and you will be just fine. I'm trying to salvage and work on a 9-year relationship. I love her more than anything, boo. She wants space now. I don't know what to do. Don't just give her space. Use this time to work on yourself. Make yourself a better person. Read books. Go on adventures. Eat healthier. Exercise more. Write in a journal. Pick up a hobby. Focus on yourself. Period. No excuses. This is 100% true. It'll hurt at first, but you'll move on over time. Keep your head up, and you do you. Then you'll learn to be happy alone, and we all know you can't make someone else happy if you're not happy. Make new rules. Count them. For example, 1. Don't pick up the phone. 2. Don't let her in. 3. Don't be her friend. If you're inside of her, you ain't jetting over her. Dua Lipa, is that you? No. It's her evil twin. Made in a laboratory by Wendy Williams. Dua Peep. Can someone answer how do you get over a guy that you liked for a long time but never dated because neither of you would admit how you felt and now has gone? By learning from your mistakes and making sure it never happens again. That's why I'm pretty open and upfront these days. Make sure people know your intentions within a few weeks. Not much. A mistake for one could be a right mark for another. People are strange. It's been 5 years, my dude. Every relationship since then has felt bland for me, so I have no idea. Getting towards 3 years since my ex, and I still feel the same as the day I met her. Not sure what to do at this point, honestly. 10 years. Married. 3 kids. Am 100% in love with my wife and she's everything I want. Doesn't stop her visiting my dreams still every year or so. Usually with a long talk. The first love is a wild thing, man. Time. Boring, but true. It'll take time, yes, but you also need to go out and do things. You can't just sit in your room and cry. You need to go out and do things that make you happy, like hanging out with friends, going to see a movie, etc. I would if I knew good movies or had friends. Everything is either overcrowded or on lockdown. I can't go anywhere and am bored and lonely. My career is looking bright, but my social life is empty, and after so many months it's eating at my mental health. Good advice, I mean that. But with this lockdown it's of little use, because many can't put it into practice. Trampoline. This is correct. Joke's on you. He typed guillotine. Sometimes the end of a relationship is like the death of a loved one. Sometimes you don't get over it. Sometimes you just soldier on. And sometimes your mind has to bury them to be free again. Had to do this a few times myself. If it really is over, cut all contact immediately. Delete X from Facebook. Remove from Phonobook. Don't torture yourself by checking that stuff. Every time you do, you will put the healing process back a notch. Do not end up in the awful position where X knows that they can still text you, and you will still offer emotional support. If you end up in that position, said person doesn't have to commit to anything and still gets the best of both worlds. It's like an instant friend zone. You will not enjoy that. This stuff is easier in theory than it is in practice, but you do need to find some way to withdraw from the situation. Ultimately, that will help in focusing your efforts somewhere else. i.e., on a positive new relationship, which is generally the thing that will 100% get you over the breakup. Good luck, sunshine. If it really is over, cut all contact immediately. I can't stress how easier things became when I cut ties from one of my exes years ago. Still getting over my ex of 6 years. One night of drunken tears I deleted her from FB and blocked her on Snapchat. Because I realized seeing memories of her hurt. I'm still in pain, but 100% seeing her name appear every time in my chat list hurt. I still have to get around deleting all of our pictures together. Right now I just avoid them. You were somebody before you made loving her part of your identity. Just gotta find what you did that made you happy before she came along and made you happy for you. Yeah. But what if nothing made you that happy before? Gotta find something new. Wouldn't you like to know whether boy, where are your parents? This kid's shady. In all seriousness, just remove everything that reminds you of her from your life. Unfollow her. Delete photos, texts. Try to avoid communication. If you don't want to permanently delete those things yet, just move them to a place where you can't easily access them. After that, just lift heavy weights. Hang with the boys and try to find another girl to get with. And fap. Terrible idea. Just don't focus on anything sexual. Regain total independence. If you fap to try to forget someone, you're just associating the two and incentivizing thinking of them later. Step 1. Take some time to wallow in it. Don't try to get over it instantly. It's okay to feel terrible for a bit. Step 2. Pull yourself together and arrange some closure. Become fully functional. Fake it to whatever level you need to get closure one way or another. Burn all your mementos of them one by one, if that's what works for you. Step 3. Get back out there. Even though you don't want to, flirt with someone. Go on some dates, and do not talk about your ex, or allow yourself to think about them. Focus on this person and what's good and or bad about them. Step 4. Make the conscious effort to open yourself up emotionally to a new person. Think about their flaws. When you have a crush on someone, you tend to ignore all of their flaws. So truly think about who they are, and usually you'll realize that you were blinded. Honestly, this is the most important step in a nutshell. My first boyfriend broke up with me, and he cheated on me at that. I was devastated at the time, until I reoriented myself and realized he was actually rather horrible. Boom. Feelings were gone. Of course, not all exes are awful, but usually things end for a reason. I throw myself into video games. Some people throw themselves into work or the gym or some new hobby. Really, anything that distracts you for even a little while, so long as it's not purposely destructive like drinking, drugs or overeating, will be good here. Would I be a hypocrite if I gave you advice when I actually need advice on the same topic? If yes, this will be a note to self. Factual advice. If you are asking this question, she probably doesn't want you. Or she doesn't want you as much as you want her, right? Why would you want to be with someone who doesn't want you as much as you want her? There are plenty of other women out there who would love you. Just wait for the right one. Giving advice is easy, following your own advice is hard. Source: me. My friends call me the forever single matchmaker. Hang out with friends. Start talking to other girls. Focus on her shortcomings. When we really like someone, we often put them on a pedestal and only see the positives. By looking at their negatives, it can help us to see that they're not perfect after all. I go on and off with feelings for this girl. I find that not texting her, making an effort to keep her text thread buried on my phone, and not checking her social media to be the best way. Out of sight, out of mind. Take her off the pedestal you built for her, bro. Deep down she's just like all the other chickens. Sometimes you don't. I would argue that many never really do. That hole in your psyche is still there. It may be covered up by scar tissue and not hurting anymore, but the deep wounds just don't close up. Your existence changes, and you just get used to the new normal. It's been 2 years. I still don't know. 3 and still arguing. Ghosts. The next bus will arrive shortly. Be ready for it. Create a new routine and stick to it. Go to work. Go to the gym. Fill the space with a hobby. Just go to the pawn shop and buy a cheap guitar and let YouTube teach you. Reconnect with people you haven't talked to in a while. Go for a methodic walk. Gotta start somewhere. I have a friend who goes through a horrible breakup every 9 to 18 months or so. After the last one, I told him flat out that post breakup him was bullshit. He got super pissed, and I don't think has forgiven me for it yet, but it's what he needed to hear. We are not defined by anything except who we are, not who we are with. Do shit that'll take your mind off of her. Minimalize free time so you don't think about her. The less on your mind, the easier it is to get over it. By improving yourself and building confidence and dating other girls. It's really that simple. Love yourself first, then open up to other people. Really soon that girl is in the rearview mirror and you are loving life in the now. Don't look at her Facebook, Instagram, Snap etc. Delete old photos of / with her and spend time with your friends. Cry if you want. It helps. Time heals all wounds. Provided you are productive with it. Focus on yourself. Things that make you happy. Things you find interesting. Things that make you grow. Don't just fill it mark time. But remember, the reason to do anything is for yourself. Not to win someone back or other such nonsense. When you are ready, focus truly on yourself and reflect on the relationship. Were there things you could have handled better? Why didn't it work out? And most importantly, was she actually that great? Hormones can do crazy things to you, and later, when the emotions don't run so deep, you can think much more clearly about it. Then, once you are satisfied with yourself, or if nothing else just sure if yourself, you can focus on others. But be selective on who those others are. While everyone is worth it in theory, in practice they often aren't until they have sorted themselves out. Jump. I took this entirely differently. Maybe in just dark, but I thought you meant jump as in commit suicide. I need to take a break from Reddit. Block her number. Social media. Delete the photos. Cut contact. Hit the gym and focus on your friends and hobbies. It'll still hurt. Acknowledge that and process, but it's way faster this way. Focus on you. Start working out and hanging out with people. When I did those things, it took my mind off of the girl and opened my eyes to literally everything. So much out there to get wrapped up over one person. Stop saying those things, doing those things, and going to those places, which you know might hurt you. Good friend of mine told me that shortly after my divorce years ago. Some of the best advice I've ever heard. Focus on yourself. Better yourself. Prove that you don't need her in order to be a great man. Work out. Hang with friends. Get that cash. Focus on being successful. You'll soon realize that she was probably holding you back. Keep your heads up, kings. Give yourself time. Don't rush into anything. Allow your sadness, anger, frustration of the breakup to be expressed in a safe way and accept that it's over. After that, realize that you are awesome and that you have a lot to offer to yourself and to someone else. I've been married 3 times. Each time, I / knew this was the one. First 2 times, I was way wrong. You just move on. Find your way. When it's time, it's time. Duck. 3 times? Man, I do not want to get divorced again. Post nut clarity. Source, me. Trust me. ! But that's when I most want to cuddle. Climb over. Sometimes you need a sturdy rope though. By living your life. Thinking new things. Invest in yourself and time. Try to see the good in her, no matter why it ended. That way you never have to think, God, that was a huge mistake. What's wrong with me? But don't downplay the negatives that caused the breakup either. That way you develop an honest opinion about her and reach out to people, new and old alike. Fill the hole that she's left behind in your life. Do the whole workout. Focus on your job thing. Sure, but legitimately, that's not what you miss. Doing things out of spite just breeds malcontent. And I guess, falling in love is fun. You get the chance to do that again. Think about every shit she said or did to you, your family and friends. It helps to see how shitty she was, and you deserve better. My opinion is that only time and space allow you the breathing room to heal. At least for the immediate future. I've also found that watching movies and TV shows that deal with heartbreak help me relate to humanity as a whole and remind me that pain is part of the human experience. Some recommendations: Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Her. I personally have some episodes of How I Met Your Mother that I used to watch. There are more, but I gotta sleep. Will update when I think of some. Good luck, fellow human. You will come out of this a more well-rounded and mature person. Give yourself time to embrace the fact that you two won't be together anymore. Don't get a rebound, and in time you will be okay with being temporarily alone. I've been depressed for 4 exhausting years so far. I still haven't felt happy, but am way less depressed. What helped me is / go to the gym, find friends to work out with, make goals, start focusing on yourself, / don't use drugs. I still do, but you shouldn't. I've used weed as a coping mechanism for years, so am addicted now and can't quit. / get sunlight. Vitamin D deficiency is correlated with depression. / you must get rid of any way you can contact her. Go cold turkey today. This means sentimental photos or nudes, unfortunately. / find something / someone to consume your time, or else you'll dwell on the past for too long. / be around your family, especially any close siblings. They are the best primary support group. The secret is, you don't. Once you feel love for someone, it never goes away. You just learn to live without them. Time heals broken hearts. Find another one. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.